Ali?
Congratulations, Ange. What did you make of the performance and the atmosphere today?
Atmosphere was incredible. Our supporters were outstanding today. Just the energy they created, in the stadium right from the first whistle was just brilliant. And to be honest, I thought it helped us. In the first half, I thought we just looked a bit nervous and a bit edgy for sort of half an hour or so, and probably fortunate to still be in the game. We just, we're giving the ball away cheaply and allowing them to sort of, come at us. But at the same time, it's not surprising. We had, a couple of 20-year-olds out there, 22-year-old, a couple of 23-year-olds. It's a really young team we're putting out there. So, but I just thought there was really encouraging signs towards the end of the first half in the last sort of 5-10 minutes, and we got them in half time and just sort of settled them down a little bit. And I thought the boys were brilliant. They came out, great energy, took the game to Man U and scored a good goal, and then didn't stop from there. Had to defend, but we did that well. Vic pulled off a couple of good saves, so encouraging signs there.
So one of the young players. I mean, how impressive is that in this atmosphere and that kind of pressure to put in a performance like that?
Yeah, brilliant, and he's been great from the moment I arrived. He's got a great energy about him, and but he's got quality there too. He's one of these midfielders that really causes opposition's problems, because whether it's him running with the ball or running without the ball, he runs forward, he runs aggressively, he disrupts oppositions, and he's just got a great temperament for a young guy. So really pleased for him.
Sorry, go ahead.
You spoke yesterday about wanting not only to win the game but also to do it with a performance. How much do you think you did the second part of that?
I thought, like I said, there were encouraging signs there. I don't think it was a victory on the back of a backs to the wall, desperate performance. I thought, there was elements of it, particularly in the second half, where we showed the kind of team we want to be, and that's what you're looking for. And I'm not silly enough to think that 2 weeks into a season and 6 or so weeks into my tenure that we're going to be putting in complete performances. But what you want to see is some sprouts of growth in terms of the team we want to be, and I definitely saw that, and real resilience too. We had to show it in the first game, and with things that sort of went against us, and today, we could have gone into our shells in the second half, but if anything, we got more brave and more courageous in our football, and we got the rewards.
Yeah, how much is that about fitness? How much is that about mentality? The fact that both games, feel like Spurs have been much better side in the second half.
Oh, it's just sometimes the nature of the games, the way they flow. Different games. I just thought today, like I said, we were just edgy in the first half. We weren't doing simple things, and human nature. The boys were probably trying really hard to impress and probably overcomplicating the game. And once they simplified the game, and there were some obvious areas there we could hurt them, then they got to grips with that and sort of committed to it in the second half.
When you make those decisions on team, they're obviously big decisions. You've quite experienced players on the bench and young players inside. Is it just a feeling you've got, or is that just completely the way you want to go in the future?
I'd like to think I know what I'm doing, mate. So, but yeah, look, some of it's especially in the early stage. I think part of what I need to do at the moment is kind of just explore, the squad and the individuals within it. It'd be just silly of me at this point to sort of stick with some sort of formula in terms of team lineup, because unless I expose some of these guys to this level trying to play our football, I won't find out about them. So, it could have been very easy not to make any changes, because, the guys who dropped out, Emerson and Skippy didn't do anything wrong last week. They put in great efforts, but, I wanted to see Pape, I wanted to see Pedro, and there's others I want to see, and we'll use this without, disrupting the cohesion of the team. But this early bid is an opportunity for me to see guys out there and give them a taste of it as well, because I think that then, feeds into their development, that if they're out there and they can see they can do it, that gives us more personnel to work with moving forward.
Ian? And I know it's a team game, but how did you feel personally about getting your first Premier League win under your belt? hearing the crowd singing your name?
Yeah, it's nice. I kind of, you separate yourself from that stuff, because what's more important to me right now is that if we're going to continue to sort of go down this road, is that, I said before the game that we really need an energy, particularly here at home, and it would have been a shame today that, because you could tell the crowd were up for it if we were flat in our performance, and not so much, obviously you want to win, and that sort of gives everyone the joy they need, but I thought the manner in which we played, it's a great starting point. So when the final whistle goes, you kind of, from my perspective, that's fantastic fertile ground for me to keep going, rather than sort of, like I said, if we had a flat performance today, it would have been hard. We would have had to work hard. But at the same time now, that kind of, leaves a fairly decent benchmark that we've got to match now, because that's the expectation that we go out there, and because we did it against a very good team today, we do that on a weekly basis.
The success here, like the wider Australian game, how the Australian game is seen worldwide, do you think, given the high-profile nature of this job?
I battle with that, mate. I really don't know. I really don't know whether we'll ever crack Australia. I hope so. I think the Women's World Cup was a brilliant tournament. I'm not watching any more of it. Obviously the Premier League's always been the most watched league in Australia anyway, so now they have a vested interest. So it's great. But, how much of an impact that has, I'm not really sure. But, from my perspective, it's not just for me, I guess for other guys with, I don't know if there are too many with similar backgrounds to mine, but, I've worked 26 years in the game. It's not that I feel I've earned this opportunity, it's just that I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be given this opportunity.
39 shots today. It was incredible, end-to-end, entertaining. How important is it to you to not just to win, but to entertain the crowd?
Yeah, I'd prefer more of the 39 with our end than the opposition. We don't design it so that the opposition will create chances, but it's part of it. I think it's a consequence of how we want to play, and particularly at the moment where it's fair to say it's not really embedded in us as a group. So that's going to leave us susceptible at times to the opposition attacking us. But again, I thought, again, you don't want it to happen by design, but I thought it was great that, Vicario made a couple of brilliant saves today, just for his confidence, his self-belief. I mean, it's only his second game in the Premier League, so it's great that he was able to do that. It was great for our back four that they could sort of defend when they needed to against a very good opponent, strong opponent. So, but yeah, we want to entertain for sure. I think it's important, but entertain in terms of play football that brings success. That's still what it's underpinned by.
Full backs and centre halves into the box, going 2v2 or 3v3 at the back, even when you're leading. That's the contrast of what's been happening here for the last 2 or 3 years. Have the players had to be persuaded, or have they really embraced it and bought into the idea?
Look, you never know that. I mean, there's probably elements at the moment they're doing it because I'm telling them to do it, but I think there's been enough in the first 2 games for me to see that they want it themselves, because there's been plenty of opportunities in both these games for us to veer away from that at this early stage, and it would be understandable. So, I said last week, we scored after 10 minutes and we lose our most experienced defender from a young, defensive line. The guy scored the goal, and then we get a penalty and an own goal against us, and it would have been very easy for that group just to then go, this isn't working, this is not the way we want to go, but we were resilient. It was the same today, we were nervy, we gave the ball away at the start. Plenty of opportunity for us to say, look, let's stop playing, let's just go long and be more direct. And as you said, even at the 2-0, we didn't sit back, we still pressed the goalkeeper, we still tried to be aggressive. So that tells me that some of it is fueled by them. It's not just because I'm telling them to do it, which is great, because ultimately that's, if we're going to get to where we want to, it's got to be driven by the players. They've got to believe in it and understand it. And my role and the coach's role is to keep giving them that sort of guidance and information.
Well, at the end, after congratulate the players and seen the ref. And before you went to the fans, it just looked like you took a moment in centre circle just to look around. What was going through your mind then?
Like I said, I just, you want to feel that moment, because I've always said that, to me, I love what football does to people, particularly, in those moments. So you kind of take a moment to think about the 60,000 or whatever that were here, or the ones watching at home, that they're going to be smiling for the rest of the week. I love that it does that, the game, and it's, for me, that moment's just about sort of appreciating that I'm pretty blessed to be doing what I'm doing and be in the middle of, a stadium leading a fantastic football club, and then you start thinking about next week, mate. So,
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
thank you.